What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Hero or Zero here on the Heroes for Hire podcast. My name is Shaun, and joining me as always is tween mutant ninja turtle Ciara Lawler.
I'm radical, dudes.
Oh, pretty good.
I love pizza.
God, that is what they say.
It is. What else do they say? I was going to say I'm good with machines, but okay, I suppose.
I'm good at leading, I suppose.
I like blue.
I like blue. Look, Connor, we can't keep talking about Ninja Turtles forever. This is Hero or Zero, where we take one comic book character every single week, go through the good points, bad points, and just generally give you a bit of a rundown about everything to do with that character. I never listened to you doing the intro.
You sound like you've never done this show before, I must say.
No, that is the premise, but I'm not used to introing it, and I'll be honest, Connor, I black out whenever you do it.
I would say even just talk like a regular human. Just say we talk about comic book people, and sometimes they're good and bad. Oh,
fuck, that's pretty good. That's why he's the main host, everyone.
I talk like a human.
So did we say that you usually do DC characters and I usually do Marvel?
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, no. I'm just going to get into it, Connor. So last week you gave us a rundown of Black Lightning, who is supremely powerful character that I knew very, very little about. I recently found out there's actually a TV show about Black Lightning.
There is. I actually, by the way, before you get into this, Shaun, I want to do a quick plug for another super powerful character we covered last week, and that was over on the Lazarus Pit. We did a review of Superman Returns for all of our patrons.
We did indeed. Brandon Routh, the most powerful Superman.
Yeah, and so if you want to give a listen to that movie review or any of the movie reviews we've done over on the Patreon, all you have to do is head over there. The link is down below. You get access to our Dark Knight, our Batman Begins review. We've done Spider-Man 2 and 3. We've done, name another film we've done.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
That's
Daredevil.
The Incredibles. The Phantom Menace. So
Fantastic.
So many. So they're all over there.
Sorry, did you say the Phantom Menace?
Yeah.
Did we do the Phantom Menace?
Oh, for God's sake. We did.
Did we?
It was so long ago. There's so many reviews.
Oh, we did. Oh, we did. I was getting confused with Mask of the Phantasm. Sorry.
No. We also did Mask of the Phantasm.
Holy, did we? No.
Yes. So if you want to head over there, all the reviews are over there. It's $5 a month, or I think that's €3.90 a month. I don't know what that is in euro.
Look, as a man who works on the stock exchange, it's $3.91, but I wasn't going to call you out like that.
That's why you live in a box. Okay, Shaun, we are back in Hero or Zero. Please continue to regale us with one of your shit Marvel characters that I'm sure is bad.
Well, this, Connor, it's actually a fairly new character that I'm talking about. Someone who they're going to be having their own Disney Plus series coming up soon. And frankly, I didn't know a lot about this character, but I did some research and they're actually really, really interesting. So today, Connor, I'm going to be covering Kamala Khan, a.k.a. Ms. Marvel.
Now, that is very interesting, because that's a character that I, of course, cover in Movie Mondays, but I have always wanted to know more. Because, as you said, she's getting her own series, and as far as we know, will also be appearing in Captain Marvel 2.
Yes, in the Marvels, yes. So, very topical character. So, it's a fairly long report, so I'm just going to breeze into it here.
Okay.
So, to start off, Kamala was born in Jersey City, the daughter of Yusuf Khan and Muniba Khan. Her parents and her older brother, Amir, moved to the United States from Karachi in Pakistan. In kindergarten, Kamala met Nakia Bahadir, who went on to become her best friend. Because like Kamala, Nakia was a practicing Muslim and the daughter of immigrants to America. So they had a lot in common. They kind of bonded over that shared experience.
Okay.
Later, when Kamala was entering the second grade, the Khan family met one of her new classmates, Bruno Corelli. Kamala's teacher told the Khans that Bruno's mother had recently lost custody of him and his younger brother Vic. The brothers had been sent to live with their grandparents, and their family had been struggling to make ends meet. They had not been able to pay for anything for Bruno to do, like clubs or anything like that, so Bruno didn't have many friends. So the Cans offered to pay the boys' school fees and sent their daughter to play with him.
Very nice.
Very, very nice people. Probably some of the nicest people in Marvel Comics.
Look, I don't know if this is my cynical heart, but is Bruno going to be evil?
We'll get to that.
I knew it!
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Though reluctant at first, Kamala and Bruno formed a very close bond over their shared background, coming from immigrant families, and their love for the animated TV series Tween Mutant Samurai Turtles.
Oh, I see what you're doing now. I see. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. See, that was what I was going for.
Tween.
So like 12-year-old mutant samurai turtles.
What were the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Were they with Dark Horse Comics? I don't know what comic books they were with.
It was Dark Horse or Vertigo, wasn't it? Or Image? One of the three.
I'm just wondering why Marvel wouldn't just do it, but I'm assuming that they just didn't have the rights.
Yeah, and it's another weird thing because like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were created from the same spill that gave Daredevil his blindness.
Yeah, so I don't know what the logic is.
It's very strange, but I just like that they're like. There's a lot of stuff in the Ms. Marvel stuff where it's like it's very clearly our world, but they just change certain things for copyright.
Okay, fair enough.
Kamala found solace with her two best friends, Bruno and Nakia, something that she sorely needed. Though she was proud and respectful of her heritage and faith, she always felt different and was often mocked by her peers for her nerdy interests and strict parents. In addition to her friendship with Nakia and Bruno, Kamala found escape in her love of video games, social media, fan fiction, and above all, superheroes.
Sounds like a nerd to me. I'd buy her.
Yeah, Connor, I have bad news for you about yourself.
What?
Do you know the show that we do 3 times a week?
Completely unaware of what's going on.
So she devotedly followed the career of Carol Danvers, the former Ms. Marvel, who had started going by the name Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Perfect. So then, one night, hoping to prove herself to be more than an odd duck, Kamala went against her parents' wishes and Bruno's wishes to go to a party at the Jersey waterfront. However, her classmates at the party, particularly someone named Zoe and her boyfriend Josh, kept teasing her and just like not including her in the party. Miserable, Kamala was on her way home when Jersey City was suddenly blanketed in Terrigen mists, and Kamala with it. Right. So that came out of left field.
Yeah,
so,
I feel like it was just a normal, everyday story we've all heard many times. Uncool girl goes to party, she gets bullied, she leaves the party. It's sad, but I was with you. And then you brought in Mist.
The Mist. So, here's the thing, is that Thanos, you'd be familiar with him.
Fucking him. Jesus, we're starting big. Okay.
Thanos was looking for his son on Earth, who his name was Thane, and so because he was a deviant like Thanos, so Thanos was like, I'll find him really easy. I'll just look for energy signatures of Eternals, basically, or for mutants. Sorry, for people who aren't human, Inhumans we'll call them. And that'll lead me right to Thane, my son. So what Black Bolt did was he set off a Terrigen Mist bomb to turn a bunch of people into Inhumans to mask the location of Thane.
Seems like violating a lot of people's personal lives, maybe just for the sake of just one thing.
That's it. Like those people weren't consulted at all on this.
No, they're just like, now your life is changed.
So, unconscious in a Terrigen cocoon. So the way it happens is once the mist engulfs you, if you have this the recessive inhuman gene, you go into a cocoon and you get some powers, maybe.
Right.
So, while she was in there, Kamala saw a vision of her 3 favourite superheroes: Captain America, Iron Man, and Captain Marvel. The 3 heroes scolded Kamala for her disobedience and asked what she wanted in life. Kamala thought that she wanted to be more like Captain Marvel, When the vision ended and Kamala emerged from her Terrigenesis cocoon, she was shocked to find that she had literally been transformed into the younger Carol Danvers in her Miss Marvel costume.
Right, okay. How did that happen? Just
because she wanted to be Captain Marvel, so she became Captain Marvel.
And they just had the outfit inside the cocoon.
I'll get to that, and it is addressed, Connor.
Fuck
it is addressed.
Right, okay.
So Kamala struggled to gain control of her new powers. After taking some time to calm down,
which a lot
Kamala
of people would. By the way, I just want to say, you give like thousands of people powers, just leave them off. This is for the greater good. What do you have a kid? Family? Who the fuck cares? Now you're super quick.
Now you can run real fast. Thanos does eventually find his son, by the way, and it's a whole thing.
Pointless. Absolutely pointless.
Absolutely pointless. So Kamala discovered she was now a polymorph, and she could change her body into virtually anything.
Okay.
Including her clothes.
Ah, right, that makes sense. Okay.
Excellent. As she ran through the neighbourhood, she found herself back at the waterfront where the party was happening, where she saw Zoe, the girl who was bullying her, fall into the river. Instinctively, Kamala changed into Ms. Marvel and rescued Zoe by enlarging her arm to pull Zoe to safety.
So she's like stretchy arms.
Yeah, she's a polymorph, so she can change any part of her body
to anything.
No, so she can't make it like metal, for example, but she can change the size and shape and things like that. Think Mr. Fantastic, but not limited to stretching.
So like Clayface in a weird way?
More like Clayface, yeah.
Okay.
And she can do the disguises and things like that as well.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's really cool. So the residents of Jersey City and the local media were surprised to see such a sight, and Kamala fled the scene. Upon returning home, Kamala realised that there was more to being like Carol Danvers than just looking like her. As horribly as Zoe had treated her, she was glad and proud that she had rescued her from the river. She wanted to continue that, but she was promptly grounded by her parents, who had learned from Bruno that she had stolen away to the party without their permission.
Snitches get stitches, Bruno. Right? I'm just saying, Bruno, he's turned on my bad list. I don't like the look of the kid.
So eventually the grounding ended, and while Bruno was working at the neighbourhood's convenience store called Circle Q, Kamala went to visit him. There, she encountered an armed robbery in progress, and abandoning her desire to reconcile with her friend, Kamala jumped into action in an attempt to stop the burglar, but was shot in the process.
She's got worse luck than Jessica Fletcher, this one. Everywhere she goes, there's crime.
It's Jersey. I don't know if Jersey's like a crime-riddled area. I shouldn't say these things.
You've never been to Jersey.
I've never been 20 minutes from me house. So, luckily, Connor, Kamala discovered she had a second power.
She's already got, like, the best power. Okay, what's the next power?
She could heal from any injury by simply shifting back to her true form.
Holy shitballs. Okay.
So, Bruno...
Now, what if she gets injured in her true form, though?
That's the thing. It's the change back that fixes her.
Right, okay.
She can't just swap indefinitely.
Okay, fair enough.
So, by changing back into her true form, Bruno realised that the person who looked like Ms. Marvel was his friend Kamala Khan.
And I'm sure Bruno will definitely keep that secret to himself and definitely won't just tell her parents.
Yeah, fucking snitch, Bruno. Bruno explained that the thief that she had just faced was his younger brother Vic, who you'll remember him from the start, maybe. Vic had gotten involved with a mysterious person called the Inventor, and was being forced to break the law for him. The two friends traced Vic to a seemingly abandoned house in Greenville, and everyone's favourite Ville, and Kamala put together a makeshift superhero costume out of a swimsuit and a mask.
Okay.
So she soon realised that she was not alone. The house was filled with the Inventor's other teenage minions. So basically, the inventor, what they're doing is he's preying on teenagers and their insecurities and their feelings of their issues with self-worth, and he's being like, look, the only way you're going to make a difference is if you work for me. And he gets them to commit crimes in his name. He also puts them inside some robot bodies, just to give them more power and
just a bit
cause
of crack.
more chaos. Just a bit of crack.
Yeah.
And so basically what Miss Marvel did, instead of beating everyone up and just solving it with violence, she convinced them that they had their own worth, and she was able to mobilise them to join her as she took the fight to the inventor. The inventor then brought out a big robot to defeat Miss Marvel, and Miss Marvel broke it instantly, pretty much, because she's a superhero. This all goes on. The main thing about it is that this is her first outing. This is her first supervillain that she's ever gone up against, and this is when she realises, like, okay, I want to be a hero, but I'm not going to be able to have a normal life after this. Like, I have to come to terms with that, basically.
Her and thousands of other people, I can only assume.
Only assume, and it's going to be weird how to do that in the movie, because we don't have Inhumans yet.
Yeah, because that's where the Inhumans are made, is it?
Yeah, the Terrigen Mists.
Right.
Come from, like, mines on the moon and shit.
Look, what can you do?
So, that's just a very brief, overlook of Captain Marvel's origin.
It's also interesting that she solved it without violence at the start. That's a nice, interesting character bit.
It is, and it's like, when I said at the start that her parents were just really, really good people, like, Kamala has all of that as well. She just wants to help. She's quite like Spider-Man in that regard. It's that, like, no, I was raised that if you can help someone, you help them. So that's what I'm going to do, basically.
And I think that's a very relatable character. That's why Superman, or Spider-Man, I should say, is so big. Because you can kind of look at it and see yourself in him, that he's just trying to do his best at all times.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's just a quick overview of where she comes from. What I really want to get into is her powers and abilities, because it is bonkers, especially when you consider that this has to exist in the MCU somehow. And
especially because if they have a film where she is partnering up with Captain Marvel, who we already know as one of the top 3 most powerful people besides Thor. Would you say Captain Marvel's more powerful than Thor? Maybe.
I think it's like Captain Marvel, Thor, and Scarlet Witch are the most powerful.
Yeah, they're the top 3. So,
and Doctor Strange, maybe.
Yeah. So, but he has like weird magic. I suppose Scarlet Witch falls under that bracket as well. Just in terms of punches, I think it's Thor, Captain Marvel. Like, one of those two, you don't want to get punched by. But if you have Captain Marvel and Ms. Marvel in the same film, that is like a whole other power set that the villain needs to be very, very strong to come up against those two.
Yeah, it really is. And I think that's where a lot of this, like, the whole thing of her being a Captain Marvel fan, that's going to come out a lot in the movie, I think, which will be nice. But yeah, on the powers and abilities, she has morphogenetics. So Kamala's cells manifest mutable properties due to the fact that she can share her mass through time with different versions of herself. So, to break that down, at any moment, any time Kamala uses her powers, on a molecular level, she's time traveling.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, so she is in touch with all possible versions of herself across time, and she can take all of the cells of a finger, for example, from all of the versions of herself across time and put it all into one at the same time. That's how she does it.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Oh, that's going to be an exposition scene in the movie, isn't it?
I think they're just going to say you can change the shape of your body.
I think they'll have a scene where Russell Crowe is there and he's just like expositing for half an hour. Just letting us all in.
Just slowly walking around telling everyone what her powers are.
The mummy style.
So she can stretch, deform, expand, or compress her entire body, or separate parts of her body into any continuous shape she can imagine for a variety of uses.
So she can like go skyscraper tall or like Ant-Man size.
Yep.
And that's not even like the strength of her ability. So she's Ant-Man combined with Mr. Fantastic, combined with Captain Marvel. Does she have like super strength?
Yep, and that's just where we are so far.
Okay, yeah. So far.
So what her cells allow her to do, basically, she has elongation, so she can extend her limbs, torso, or neck to great distances. So there's your Mr. Fantastic. Size alteration, she can adjust her height and stature, adding upon her, already good physical abilities. So she can shrink to, her limits are the size of an action figure or as tall as a building.
Interesting. So, and that's without any PIM particles or any of that science shit.
Just natural, just inbuilt time travel cells, Connor.
She can just do that. You know how it is.
She has also made her body as thin as paper before. And then accelerated healing factor. So she can rapidly heal from injuries such as bullet wounds. However, use of her other powers interrupts the healing process. So she has to maintain her normal appearance while she recovers. So that's what you said earlier. She can't switch back, basically.
But then, like, you would always just have one slight thing different while you're walking around, even. Like, you would just change, like, a finger.
Just so you can always switch back at any moment.
So no matter
like
what happens.
You stub your toe and you're just like, fuck it.
Yeah, like, it doesn't matter what happens. Like, you're walking around and you just change one of your toes to, like, a different dimension toe. And, like, then you go down to the shop, you get shot. Just change that, you just fight again.
You're just grand.
Yeah.
So, what I will say, the more she uses the healing ability, the less malleable her cells become. So, she can't use the full range of her abilities. So, she's just healing all the time. She can't stretch as far, or she can't grow as big or anything like that.
So, she's not that strong, really, when you think about it. All you have to do is just keep shooting her.
So she also possesses the power to alter her physical appearance, including her hair and clothing, and she can also mimic inanimate objects sometimes.
So she's like a Skrull combined with Mr. Fantastic and Ant-Man and Wolverine.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fucking hell.
Like she and the like. She's so good at impersonating people. She once impersonated Rhodey and had a full conversation with Tony Stark.
Oh, shit. Yeah, so that would be like Tony Stark would pick up on that immediately.
Rhodey's his best friend. So,
yeah.
It's flawless, the impersonation she can do. And bioluminescence, she emits a glowing yellow energy signature when she uses her morphogenic powers. Now, you might say, Connor, how do you stop someone like that?
I'm thinking weaknesses right now. How do you stop this woman?
Her body is vulnerable to EMPs, so they weaken her elasticity.
Okay.
And overuse of the healing factor temporarily weakens her elasticity powers.
So what we're thinking is EMP and shoot her with a Gatling gun.
That's the only way to do it.
Okay, right.
And then equipment, she doesn't just fly solo, Connor. So she has a biokinetic polymer suit. So it was invented by Bruno, who hasn't turned evil. He's still just her friend.
Invented by Edna Mode, I can only assume.
Very similar, actually. So it's a polymer applied to a flexible substance, which makes the substance extremely malleable. The increased elasticity allows her to focus less on transforming her clothing during her metamorphoses. So instead of diverting energy towards, okay, I need to make my shirt bigger, the shirt will just move with her on its own.
Oh, right. Okay, that's a good comic book way to explain random shit.
It really is. It's very clever. And one nice thing she has a series of bangles with hollow compartments on the inside on one of her arms. What that is, she uses that to hold her phone and other small items. They were originally used by Kamala's great-grandmother Aisha to smuggle money out of Bombay during the partition, and was passed down kind of from mother to daughter to daughter to daughter, all the way down. And now Kamala has them, and she wears them as she fights crime.
That's a nice touch. I like that.
Yeah. So yeah, it was really nice. And Captain Marvel gives her a necklace that, if you touch the necklace, Captain Marvel will be there as soon as she can.
Oh, right. So Captain Marvel is like, does she see her as a fangirl, or does she see her as like, well, I mean, you'd have to look at her and just be like, oh shit, if I'm in trouble, I could also use your help.
Exactly, yeah. She's kind of a protege, kind of like she's taken under Captain Marvel's wing a little bit.
Okay, that is so... Captain Marvel must be like so happy with herself, like, my protege is the best.
I have the best Fuck you, Spider-Man.
Hey, Bucky, you suck.
So I think, as far as it goes in the movie, I do think there will be a lot of... Oh, sorry, before we do that, 1 to 7 rating system, Connor.
Oh, here we go.
Intelligence of 2, strength of 4, speed of 3, durability of 4, energy projection of 1, and fighting skills of 2.
That's really bad.
That's what?
That's really bad ratings for someone that we know is that powerful.
Yeah, but like, to be fair, a 4 in strength and durability, that's pretty fucking respectable. Yeah. Like, very strong and can punch for a long time.
That's so weird that, like, we've covered characters that I would have been like, oh, these are dog shit. And they're like 6s across the board. And this one, who I assume is like super powerful, isn't that high. But then again, she's just a regular human. So like a 2 for intelligence is just human level intelligence.
Yeah, she is also like 18 as well.
Yeah. So the idea is that like she still has potential. She's still growing as a character.
Yeah, she's still like a rookie. In terms of actually fighting crime a lot of the time. And so just as far as the movie goes, it's kind of been confirmed. You have Captain Marvel, you have Photon, Monica Rambeau, and you have Kamala Khan. So I think there's going to be this thing of like Monica Rambeau being like, listen, don't she's not a good person, don't worship her. And Ms. Marvel just being like, oh, Captain Marvel's the best.
Yeah, and I suppose you'd have to introduce her. She has her own series, so she will already have an origin story and it'd be introduced. I'd be interested to see if they go the Inhumans route, but they're not doing that movie anymore as far as I know, so I don't know what they're going to be doing with this.
Yeah, it is a strange one, unless they just like, they do this first and then explain Inhumans after.
Yeah, it could be a situation where they introduce her and just that's the mist, and you use that to show that is like, it's very similar to The Flash, where like something happens, he gets his powers, and then there's a whole bunch of villains created at the same time. She gets her powers, and there's so many villains created in that mist that she has to round up.
It could be very, very like that, and then you uncover the mystery of the mist later on down the line.
The mystery of the mist.
Very good. I like it, Connor. But yeah, that's the general gist of Ms. Marvel. I think she's a really cool character.
I think she's like, I didn't realise they were even her powers. I just assumed that she just had Captain Marvel's powers. Just again.
No, she's like entirely separate in terms of power level. She's just a massive fan, basically. Interesting.
Okay, that's very cool. And I think you can go a lot of different ways then, because she's so different, that it can be a completely new character with its own problems, rather than just rehashing the same Captain Marvel storylines.
Yeah, and you're also giving yourself like that teenage character to tell, and it's bad to say because not every teenage character is Spider-Man, but you can tell those Peter Parker style stories about the issues of being a teenage superhero.
Yeah, I mean, every hero is more interesting when they're like, I mean, Spider-Man is at his most interesting when he's trying to balance school and like home and being a hero. He's at his least interesting when he's 46 and he has everything going for him, and MJ's a supermodel and he's rich as fuck. And
yeah, like, when his life's going great, Peter Parker's pretty boring.
Yeah, and so the idea is that like we like to watch these characters grow up and like they have potential, but they're struggling because they got all this stuff to do and they still want to do good though.
Yeah, and so I think that's going to be a lot of the series and maybe the movie, and I'm excited to see that come out.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you like me to take us out, Shaun?
Yes, please, Connor.
So, as I mentioned at the start, we do have Superman Returns, a movie review for our Lazarus Pit show over at our Patreon, if you want to head on over there. But most importantly, really, the one thing you could do to help us out is give give the show a like or review on whatever podcast platform you are using right now. It really helps us out in the algorithm, and it just lets more people know that we talk about comic book stuff and nerd stuff, which is nice and fun.
And we just talk like regular humans, as we've learned.
As Shaun does an intro regularly, like a human. And so you can follow us over on Twitter. It's Here's for Hire Pod, the 4 is the number 4. Facebook, Here's for Hire Podcast. We also have a group over there called the Detective Diverman's Discussion Group. If you want to add up to that. And most importantly, just tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
Just the one. So I have been Ciara Lawler.
I have been Shaun Meehan.
And we'll see you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.